like hopes and wishes videos because you get your hopes up for a game, and when it comes out, you discover that none of your hopes had come true, and then you start crying in the corner of the living room so that everyone in your family could get annoyed. So anyway, here are my top 5 hopes for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Number 5. Optical Illusion. The Hoenn region is full of hidden secrets and mysteries, but one secret that I found most fascinating was the Mirage Island. I remember spending an entire summer break trying to find this fantastical island, but I never did because that whole number generated thing was just too confusing. So for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I want the Mirage Island to return with a new design that actually makes it look like a mirage, kinda like in the anime. Also, the range number needs to be reduced from 65,535 to something like 9,001, so that we can actually find the island in our lifetime. Number 4. The Space Race. In Pokemon Emerald, when I saw Team Magma attacking the Space Center, I thought they were gonna use the rockets to go kamikaze into Mount Chimney, so that the volcano could erupt, but no, they just wanted to do something lame. Okay, maybe destroying the rocket is a bit too much to ask in the new games, but at least let us go to space. I'm still waiting for the scientist man to finish his countdown in Pokemon Emerald, but that dude is worse than the Mirage Island guy. So I hope that in the new game we get to go to space and maybe even catch Deoxys. Number 3. No 3D. When you ride the Mach Bike in Hoenn, you can see how fast and smooth the game runs. Well, that's because Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald have a frame rate of 60, while later Pokemon games are reduced to 30. This is even worse in Pokemon X and Y because of the 3D, which reduces the frame rate even more and slows down the game. So for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I hope that they don't implement the 3D feature at all. That way, the game could run great without any hiccups. Who knows, maybe if they completely remove the 3D feature, then maybe the game could run at 60 FPS, just like the old days. Number 2. The Water and the Stone. Out of all the story arcs in the Pokemon games, the Wallace-Steven story arc is the one that confused me the most. In Ruby and Sapphire, Steven was the champion, but in Emerald, Steven gives up his title, so Wallace becomes the new champion. But in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Steven tells the player that he's the champion of Hoenn. That single statement from Steven almost prevented me from making the timeline video last year. So for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I want Game Freak to explore and better explain the Wallace-Steven story arc, so that I could finally stop speculating about this topic. Number 1. Not where, when. When Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire got announced, I was shocked because I was one of those people who thought that a Hoenn remake wouldn't make sense. One of the reasons why we had a Gen 1 and Gen 2 remakes was because the Pokemon from Gen 1 and Gen 2 cannot be traded to Gen 3. So making Fire Red, Leaf Green, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver made sense. But that problem doesn't occur with Gen 3, because trading Pokemon from Gen 3 to Gen 4 is possible, so why remake Ruby and Sapphire? And if these games are remakes, then we have another problem, and that's Mega Evolutions. It's obvious that we're going to have Mega Evolution in these games, but Mega Evolution didn't exist in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, so how will they explain that? So here's what I'm hoping for. I hope that Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire tells a new story that takes place after the events of Ruby and Sapphire, and somewhere around the same time as X and Y, because only then it would all make sense. Alright, that is all for this video. I'll be back with another video soon, so stay tuned.